with the flow.
Can't forget about Coach Bergen. Of course. And if you don't got Coach Bergen, you ain't got shit.
What's up, Coach Bergen here, and welcome to the Coach Bergen Show, episode 57. Our guest today is James Cusick.
What the fuck is this? There we go.
Got it.
Now we're getting it. Now we're getting it.
Got it.
Awesome. I just switched devices, and I think that helped a little bit. It kept asking me, I don't know, it kept saying that you wanted to join and to accept it, and then I'd accept it, and then the same notification would pop up again. I don't know, man. It was weird. But we finally got it going. So welcome to the Coach Bergen Show, episode, I believe, 57. It might be 58. I'm not really sure at this point. But anyways, you just came off of a victory, right? A recent win? Or do you have a fight coming up?
In the eyes of the people, I won, but the judges went with their guy in their city.
Right. I remember this now. Yeah, because then we came up with the positivity push idea of never leave it in the hands of the judges.
What's up, Coach Bergen here with another positivity push for you. Today's message is never leave it in the hands of the judges. Whether it's in life or in the fight, you need to do all of the actions that you can to make sure you are in control of the outcome and you don't have to rely on others. Because no matter how much you might think you won the fight, no matter how much you think, the fans might think that you won the fight, no matter how much your coach might think you won the fight, it doesn't matter if you leave it in the hands of the judges who might not even be watching the fight and who might not even know the sport of MMA. And so you cannot leave things up to chance. You need to take every opportunity you can. Hopefully you took some value out of anything I said today. Stay amazing, and remember, everything works out in the end.
So
that's
let's definitely get into that fight round by round. How do you feel it went?
I obviously the trip when I tried to head kick his face into oblivion, missed, fell down. It wasn't really a takedown, so I don't really know how they score that. He didn't take me down, but he did have top control. I kind of had him in like a knee shield the whole round. He never passed my guard, anything like that. He was raining down punches, but I was keeping my head moving and deflecting most of them. And I did work up. I had a submission attempt, an inverted triangle, and then I did work up to my feet at the end of the round. So I can understand why, they would probably favor him for the first round. But the second round,
At the end of the round, you got up to your feet?
Yep.
Okay.
I got up
So
and broke away.
So you kind of neutralized the situation by the time the round ended. So
Yeah, and I was working the whole time. It's not like I accepted the position.
right. So all right.
And then the
So that
second,
one, it could go either way on that round.
yeah,
All right.
and let's say he got that one, which I'm totally fine with. He did assume the top position, so that looks good in the eyes of the judges. The second round, I got some good, right hands on him. I did hit him with a high kick again, which landed. He hit me with a high kick, which landed. But the audience, man, like everyone like ooh and ahhed whenever he hit me, even though I ate it and took it. But whenever I did anything, there was like silence in the crowd. There's thousands of people there.
Did
So
it hurt?
what's that?
Did it hurt? The head kick?
Yeah, I definitely. I'm just now being able to eat, hard foods. It did, even though I blocked it with my hand, it did hit my wrist into my jaw and kind of twisted it. So it did rock me, but I can't let him know that, obviously.
Yeah. No. Of course. He won't see this episode. Don't worry.
Well, no, like during the fight, I didn't
Right. Of
show it.
course. I know.
But the second round, arguably, other than his head kick, he didn't do too much else. I took him down. I had top position for at least a minute, maybe half a minute. I had him on the cage for another half a minute. Um, I definitely was the more dominant fighter in the second round, even though it took me like a minute and a half to get the takedown. Um, it just, I was pushing the whole time. And that second round, I definitely believed that I won a round. So the third round came, and the second round ended perfectly. I had him on the ground. I took his back at the last second. I was in dominant control. The third round, got him with another good right hand, a couple kicks, um, and once again put him on the cage. Dominated the grappling even more. I had like a minute of top time and back time. Took him down, and I was convinced at the end of that third round when I was on his back that I had got the fight. So obviously, being my first 3 round fight, I was like, this is what it feels like. I'm just getting adjusted to it. So um, had I, when I had double hooks in on his back, had I just rained down, effortless punches, and, just hit his hands, they might have stopped it,
Mm.
but I didn't really know that. He was just shelled up. He tried to work up a couple times, but he couldn't. Not one time did I hear the referee tell him to work from bottom. But it ended. I was on his back. I had a choke locked in, which I should have pushed him. Should have pushed him a little harder earlier in that round, so I could have maybe finished the choke. But I mean, I I had ground and pound. I had takedowns. I had submission attempts. 3 submission attempts. And he had one, which in the second round I rolled straight out of, got out as soon as I felt that it was tight, that front guillotine. Um, so it was very surprising when he got his hand raised, man. I'll tell you, um, the crowd went nuts. I'm like, did anyone watch this, bro? Like,
Yeah, I feel like sometimes they don't watch the fights, and I know there's been times where I've cornered my fighters, and then I will hear the judges because you're kind of placed next to the judges when you're a corner, and you can hear them talking about random other shit, nothing to do with fighting
yeah,
during the fight. And they're like talking about remodeling their house and getting their kitchen redone and how they have to, change the tiles or some shit. And it's like, dude, what the fuck are you getting paid for? You
yeah,
know?
and
Um,
two, have you fought before? That's
right.
important.
That is very important. But at the same time, if you fought before, that now does give you a little bit of a bias if you have any like ties to the fighters. You know what I'm saying? Like if you
Yeah,
trained with, so you would have to just kind of, I don't know, just to avoid corruption. I would want to, have something in place that is like if this judge knows this fighter, they can't judge that fight.
yeah,
But
that makes sense.
aside from that, yes, they should absolutely train and know
Or
the
a
sport.
certification, studying fights. I don't know, something
Yeah,
like that. But I mean,
yeah. Did I lose you?
and
There we go.
everyone is from there. It's the biggest, he's from the biggest gym there. So they had like half the fighters on the card. And I was so happy with the performance. You know, I basically told myself, like, either way, however it did shake out, I know that I pushed the pace the whole time as much as possible, and I outgrappled a freaking, Wanderlei Jiu-Jitsu student, which is unheard of because they're amazing at grappling.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's incredible.
Yeah,
Um,
it was an experience for sure, man. That whole promotion is just it's crazy, dude.
well, next time, you'll be able to get in there and not leave it in the hands of the judges and,
Yeah,
just show everybody that you're the better fighter. And, until
15
then,
days.
what?
I got a fight on the 25th of April here in Manassas, Virginia, at Cagezilla. So I signed that
Okay.
contract before my last one.
Nice. Okay. All right. So you already had this one in the works. That's cool.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so what weight class do you fight at?
185 middleweight.
Okay. And what do you walk around at?
Um, I usually intermittent fast every day. So if I were to eat 3 times a day, or even 2 times, I would be about 200. Um, but since I like to keep my weight down, so I don't have such a stretch, the week of, I usually walk around now on one meal a day, some protein at about 191.
Okay. All right.
I like to
It's not that
stay
bad.
within.
It's like 6 pounds.
Yeah, yeah. I like to live it that way because I mean, the more I live there, the easier it is for my body to adjust. Um, but yeah, it's been going good. I definitely didn't feel like he was, too big to where like, I got to cut uh, to 70 or anything like that. I mean, I'm 6'2", so I'm not a small person, and I definitely don't want to cut. The dynamic is changing a lot from when I wrestled. Usually, when you cut, 30 pounds, you're going to get someone in that weight limit, not both of you every single time cutting 30 pounds just to blow back up and fight 20 pounds heavier the next
Right.
day.
It's crazy.
So it's really shifting because almost every time I'm cutting, even to 85, I'm not fighting a guy that's 85. I'm
Right.
fighting
They
someone
probably
that's,
walk around 200.
yeah, and then we cut to that weight and then blow back up anyway. So it's like I don't need to go much lower, honestly. It would be good, to get a smaller framed guy if I went to 70 because I would have leverage. But it's unheard of now. I mean, no one's living at that weight. They're all cutting, 20, 30.
Right. It's very, very rare. There's like very few examples. The example I give the most when I talk about this is my friend VIP Ali. He fights at 170 pounds, but he walks around like 165. And he did fight at 55 for a while, but like he didn't like cutting weight, and it was just distracting too much of his focus when he wanted to be, focused on the fight and training as opposed to having to lose weight. And he just does significantly better at 170 than he ever did at 55. And yeah, the
That's
guys are a lot bigger, but like he's able to be way more explosive, and he's still able to take them down. So
yeah,
and-
and
but I think it works different for everybody as well.
yeah, yeah. There's definitely a good amount of like I would rather go against some guys that are bigger like I am, even bigger than I am. The last wrestling tournament I did, I wrestled up 30 pounds. So I would prefer a bigger guy because he's more my speed. Once you get into the smaller frames, 155, like, those guys are super fast. They don't even have to be accurate. They just have to mix it up, be super quick, and I'm hit. So like, I much prefer, especially the wrestling aspect, to wrestle somebody a little bigger because I have pretty good cardio. I would rather try to, outlast someone like that, like I did last fight. However, I was injured uh, from the wrestling tournament I did 2 weeks prior, and I did I did practice, but one day the week of my fight, I had one practice, so my cardio wasn't where it usually is, but I needed to let that heal.
Okay. How did you get started with fighting?
Um, I mean, it started. a long time ago, but I didn't really focus and hone in on it as much, in my earlier years. I just wrestled for 12 years, and I was in the Marine Corps, so I did Marine Corps, MAP, which is Marine Corps Martial Arts Program. So that helped. And it wasn't until about 3 years ago that I really started to eradicate everything in my life that didn't agree with fighting. And I started to go down this path of, living out this dream that I've had the whole time. I just never nutted up and did it. Uh, so yeah, about 3 years ago, I was working, I was traveling the country building Amazons and did a bunch of security work and stuff like that, armed security. So as I was doing that stuff, it took so much of my time, man. Like I just didn't feel like the money or anything was worth it because what's money if you don't have time to spend it or have freedom?
Right.
So I made the switch, a couple of years ago, 3 years, and I I first went to MMA Institute, which is one of the biggest gyms here in Virginia, down in Richmond, and from there, I really started to set my sights on this goal. And they had a volunteer shout out like, "Hey, anyone want to volunteer? Anthony Pettis Fighting Championships coming to Richmond." This is like 2 years ago. And they're like, "We need help building the cage, working the event. You can get in free, you get the best seats in the house, stuff like that." So I actually, dude, that's how I got into the APFC, which was being the crew, that ran the event prior to actually
Okay.
fighting. So that really sparked it off too, because after that first fight, I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm made for this." So the interest kept building over time, but yeah, it wasn't until a few short years ago that I really started to aim for it.
Did you get to meet Anthony Pettis?
Oh, dude, I've met him 100 times.
Oh, okay. So it's like a normal
Yeah,
thing to you. Okay. To me, he's
yeah,
still a star. To you, he's like an everyday person.
dude,
Okay.
I'll tell you some exclusive info right here.
All
Um,
right.
the
Coach
last
Bergen
fight,
Show exclusive.
exclusive, bro. Like nobody sees this side of the stars, the champions. Like in Milwaukee, last weekend or the weekend before, um, I I used to be the cage crew, so I know how it runs. I'm strong enough to, pick the stuff up and load it. I did the setup and the breakdown. So after my fight, while I was in Milwaukee, I talked to the president of the APFC, great guy, man, Dame Rodriguez, Damien, and I told him, hey, like if I'm not too battered up, bro, like I will 100% help break the cage down because I have to be up at 3 a.m. to leave anyway. So I didn't plan on sleeping. And after my fight, sure enough, I helped him break the cage down. And bro, Anthony is right there the entire time, unloading, loading, moving, deconstructing the cage, doing everything right along with us. He's a grinder, bro. Like
He's not
he
just acting like a promoter and, like letting everybody else do the work. He's, working with you guys, and
Bro,
that's cool.
literally hand in hand. Like I'm carrying pieces of the cage with him, like because they're pretty heavy, and it's just so cool to see him. Such a human figure, instead of looking at it like, oh, this is an untouchable superstar that is just too good for us. Like, dude, he is the complete opposite. He is very humble. He's a very good person, and that's why his show does so well. Um, so it really speaks to the integrity of him.
Awesome. I would definitely love to get him on the podcast sometime in the future. Um, but let's circle back to the weight cutting thing. Do you think it would help to add in a second weigh-in that doesn't necessarily even need to have any like pound allowance, but just like a second weigh-in the day of the fights to show what they're actually walking in the cage at?
I feel like that's a good question. I hadn't thought
And to
about
show
that
the
before.
transparency, as opposed to having to like stay within a certain weight limit at that point, and then they can see, okay, this fighter made weight the day before, but now he's 30, 40 pounds above the weight limit, and
Yeah.
and just kind of let it be okay for a while, and then it will give some analytics as to how many, like how much people cut, and then they
Yeah.
can figure out how to make some adjustments. But
Yeah. And two, on, the health, benefactor side, like, is it unhealthy to gain so much weight back so quickly? Like things like that, we can start to kind of research and
right,
target if we track that. No, that's a good idea because, I mean, honestly, there might even be a limit to how much, in the future you can gain because of, one, being healthy, putting it back on healthily, and two, making sure that the fight isn't so, one-sided. Not that weight matters completely, but I do think it would help to kind of adjust. And obviously, we've seen guys pass out on stage weighing in,
right,
so like we know it's hard and it's dangerous.
yeah.
Uh, I mean, there could be something there with that because there's a lot of guys that do it very, very dangerously. So I feel like that's something that they should have to mitigate as well.
Kobe Sanders says, I cut from 165 to 135. After weigh-ins, I'm about 155. Okay. So you're cutting some weight too, it sounds like.
Yeah. And that's not crazy weight he's putting back on. It's not,
It's 20 pounds though in a
no.
in a day, you know? It's
Yeah,
at
that's how,
135, 20 pounds is a lot of fucking weight. But he's 165 naturally, it seems like. So 20
yeah,
pounds isn't terrible, I guess, for that, but it's still, I don't know. It's a
makes
greater percentage when you're smaller as opposed to when you're in the
yeah,
bigger weight classes.
yeah.
But
I usually blow up if I have the 2 pound allowance, got to be 187. I usually blow up to like 195, 196.
okay,
So it's
gotcha.
not as much, but I don't want to blow up too much because that is more for your body, more data for your body to process and go through and kind of configure. So I, I, yeah, I don't know what the science is behind that, but it would be interesting to know what is too much.
Right, right. And I mean, that's going to give, scientists or experts or whoever the best way of studying it by providing the data as to like what their weight is when they walk into the cage. So,
Yeah,
and man, even if they were to make the second weigh in where it's like 20-pound allowance or, you know, 10%, 20% of whatever your weight class is. So like 135 plus 20%, whatever that is, like,
mm,
I don't know, you could be up to 160, maybe, sounds like. I'm not really sure what the math is there, but
yeah,
somewhere around there, because 20% of 100 would be 20. So that'd be 155. And then, just add another 5% there. Um, so yeah, I think that might be a way of doing it where it's like a percent increase that you can get up to on the second weigh in. Um, because otherwise people are still going to take advantage of it if, they only have to weigh like 15 pounds less. They'll end up fighting dehydrated, I'm certain. And
yeah,
you know, that will probably just cause more issues long term. So,
yeah,
I
definitely.
don't really know.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see. I mean, because there's always changes, and um, the evolution of the fight, game is constantly changing, and they're figuring it out. Uh, but yeah, that would be interesting to figure out because uh, a lot of the time, you want to be heavier than the guy, and that's good. But at the same time, if you're making your body work more, is it worth it to your endurance and everything else? Like, I don't know.
Right. And then long term, I can't imagine that being good for your health, for your kidneys, for your, I guess,
Mm,
digestive system, for your, metabolism, for, and I'm pretty sure that cutting weight gives you more of a chance of getting knocked out because it like removes the I'm talking completely out of my ass here, so I could
yeah.
be off, but it's like the cerebral fluid or whatever is less. So there's less cushion for the brain to bounce off of the head or
Mm,
off of the skull inside of it. And when you're dehydrated. So
mm.
I don't know, but
It's
I can't imagine it being good.
no, definitely not. It's, and I just see all the guys, in the big promotions, most of them that are cutting down to 55 or, lower, they're both they're cutting and then they're blowing back up. It's like, what's the point of cutting the weight uh, to not fight someone that weighs that much on a day-to-day basis? That
Well,
was the
because
whole
you have to
point.
reach the number on the scale. That's just the rules, just the way
That
it's
was the
always
whole
been. So
point.
it's never going to change. Why
That
why
was the
should
whole
anything
point.
change?
Like the whole of in wrestling because coach would realize like, oh, hey, they got this kid at 70. Like, do you want to bump down from 80 and you want to go against that guy because he weighs 170 walking around. So effectively, you'll actually have more weight on him. But
Okay.
two guys cutting to face each other is like almost pointless because they blow back up to the same weight. It's not like you're getting someone of a smaller stature. Um,
Right. Right. You're getting somebody your size.
yeah, you
You
guys are
know?
just killing
But
yourselves.
you're just like choosing to make it harder on yourselves.
Yeah, yeah, you're killing yourself to get to that weight, and it's like the dude's gonna weigh the same as you do on fight day. Like,
Right, right. And I think that's one of the good things about like the BMF title is it's not at any specific weight class. It's just kind of like there and they choose what weight they're going to fight at.
mm,
And you know, I think that's the way to do it because then you can kind of just walk out at what you walk out at and not have to necessarily cut any weight. And
mm,
I don't know, but it's it's part of the game that I would like to see change. And a lot of fighters have told me they'd like to see change, but nobody wants to be part of the change. And yeah, so we'll see what happens in life. But
yeah,
I hope to see something change with it a little bit. And the only way is
yeah.
going to
I
be
mean,
by people doing really really well without cutting weight. I think that's going to be the only way people are going to change their mind is
I
by
feel
seeing
like you would
others.
get, feel like you would get more interesting fights. People are having, all of their cardio, all of their water weight, everything that they need to perform, longer um, if they didn't do that. So I don't know. It might make it better, or it might make it worse and have the complete opposite effect. But it's worth finding out, analyzing.
For sure, for sure. All right, let's get into Fight Plan Pro because I know you said 3 o'clock. You gotta work, right? You're
Oh,
teaching me at the gym.
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna start. The owner again, and actually just called me, so he's probably on the way.
Got
Um,
you. All
but
right.
yeah,
So, what have been your thoughts on Fight Plan Pro so far?
it is extremely It is extremely helpful, especially when, I'm not quite there yet. I don't have like a ton of fights and stuff like that. It's extremely helpful to kind of get that simulation because that's what we're doing anyway the whole time is trying to simulate the fight, right? So, whether that's in training, this is just another tool. Fight Plan Pro is another great tool that we can use because it is getting us closer to fully simulating everything, you know, regarding his weight, regarding his height. if you got enough, enough experience, then you're going to be able to find him on there or her, and
Mhm.
it gives you that much more comfort to know, obviously something, wild things happen in the fight and blindside you, but at least you're able to fill that, that void in your brain where you don't know and you're trying to simulate, trying to figure it out, analyze. Um, it is next level, man. I mean, I haven't seen many apps, if any, that do what you do. So it
Thank you.
is it is extremely, extremely beneficial to kind of itch that itch of, how could this play out? What should I focus on? What should I work on? I mean, it's like a coach on your phone, Like,
Yeah, exactly. A digital corner. You
yeah,
know.
yeah,
Uh,
it's wild. It
and I so there's probably still aspects of it that you haven't touched yet,
mhm.
like Coach Coin. You probably noticed that when you log in, or no?
I did see it. I did not get to go through it though.
Okay, no worries. So Coach Coin it's gonna be basically that is what's going to open up the sponsorship portal and the booking portals, and you will get that from logging in, from doing using the app. Basically, from almost everything that you're doing within the app, you'll get rewarded for it. And like in the self improvement section, there is you'll see 1,000 push-ups a day, which is like I created that so that way I would get myself back into doing 1,000 push-ups a day, and
Mm,
so it rewards you every time that you track that you've done a set of push-ups, and so you can get like 250 coach point a day from doing 1,000 push-ups a day, and then there's like deprogramming notes in there. There's stuff for muscle imbalances. If you have an injury, there's something in there to help with that.
mm.
And then I created another thing to help with habit breaking. It's called Champion versus Excuses.
It's time for an attack and proper sponsors of the Coach Bergen Show. Too fast to skip without missing out. Round by round, we don't wing it, man. Train smart, fight clean, that's a fight plan.
Shorten it here. So basically, whatever habit you have that you're trying to break, you just like put it in, and then you put in um, what the winning mind, the winner part of you told you to do in that situation, and then what the losing part of you, the excuses part of you told you to do,
Mm.
and then you put in which one won, and then it kind of just like gives you kind of like a tracker to help you stay accountable and stay on track, because then you're seeing, okay, this is one day I won it, this is another round I won, this is another round I won, and then you're just winning round by round by round by round. Every time that you're having these internal struggles, you can input it into the app, choose the champion mindset, and then
Yeah.
yeah. But there's still more that's going to be adapted into it, and the deprogramming notes is something else I put in there, from a concept I've used long ago, but that's more life coaching than MMA. And then I got like weight cutting section in there that needs to get a little bit of work improved on it, and yeah. So there's a lot to it. There's a meal tracker. I don't know if you've tried that out yet. There is the community tab, which nobody has really used yet because it's still so new, or not even new, but it's just like not known, I guess.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to make that like a group feature, kind of like Facebook has. So
Yeah. No,
that way you can all interact.
it's literally like a virtual coach, just another tool in the tool bag. That
Right.
that's awesome that you've incorporated the accountability factor in, because that's like the number one thing that we as fighters struggle with all the time. You're constantly judging yourself. You're constantly questioning, so maybe that's a very key factor in getting better and becoming a champion, because if we don't pinpoint it, if we don't track it, there's nothing to go off of. So that's very smart.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
So yeah, there's a lot to it, and then the Coach coin will eventually be redeemable for an actual cryptocurrency that I created called Coach coin, and so you would in fact be able to get paid from using the app. Um, and then you know, yeah, but there's still a lot more that's going to get incorporated into it, and it's only going to get better and better. Um,
That's awesome, man.
yeah,
There's
yeah,
a,
so,
I mean, there's a lot of apps out there that come out and they kind of just do um, the generic, style, and they don't really add too much to it. You know, any fitness app you really get, the updates are, they're okay, but already the components you have put together for the app is impressive because I can tell that you put a lot of work behind it, and you're not just doing it to have a million downloads. Like you're literally doing it because you saw a hole in the training process that you could fill. And I think it's great, man. I can't wait to get more involved with it, and make it a part of my everyday check in. Um, get some coach coins. Yeah, I definitely need some
yeah.
coins. Um,
Yeah, get that added up, because the price of that in the real cryptocurrency is only gonna go up as like Fight Plan Pro gets more popular and as like this podcast gets more popular. But yeah, it's only gonna be worth more and more as time goes on for when you redeem it to get the actual coin.
that's
So
crazy. Wow.
you know and and then it's not going to be in existence in there for long, but I have it set up where you can also stake your coach coin. And I don't know if you know what staking is, but with cryptocurrency, basically you can choose to, almost like if you were buying, like, I guess the equivalent would be like if you were buying a stock that you had to hold on to,
Mm.
and then you can sell it at any point. But as it's bought as the stock with this, I'm probably giving a bad explanation, truthfully,
No, no,
but
no. It makes
as
sense.
it's like as it's bought as the stock, it's collecting, dividends every day off of it being, staked. And stocks is probably the worst example I could have chosen though. But anyways, basically if you use the coach coin that you have in your platform and you stake it, it will gain value every single day that it's staked. So you will get more and more added to your wallet.
That's that's
And
next level.
And when version 2 launches, I'm gonna probably be like removing that, because there's gonna be a point where that becomes like way too much for me to pay out. But for right now, where we're at, I can make it where it's super, super beneficial for those who are starting in early. And that's what I want to do. So July 4th is when I'm launching version 2, and I'm gonna have a lot more added into it. Ideally, I'm going to have the booking portal and sponsorship portal created, and yeah, and then it's just going to go up from there.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm excited to see, what happens from now till then, till July, because I mean, the traction you've been getting is, amazing. So it's only gonna get better. And I can tell you're a dedicated guy, so you don't take a loss or no for an answer. And I'm excited, honestly.
Thank you. I'm never afraid of losing. I'm always afraid of not trying, because I can't live with a what if, you know? And I have no problem failing, but I will eventually win. And even if I have to fail 100 times before it wins. And this idea actually existed a couple years ago. Kind of existed a couple years ago. I was trying to create a platform called Only Fighters, which was going to be a social media platform for MMA fighters. And it was going to incorporate a lot of this different stuff that I talked about today, but it wasn't as, you know, it wasn't as well thought out or as beneficial. And then, now this is like the new version of it. So Fight Plan Pro. And I think there's a lot that can happen with it, and I think there's a lot of potential. And I'm glad that you're a part of it. Definitely try it out, for your upcoming fight, and give me feedback, etc. We'll have you on the podcast again, and yeah. So thank you for joining today. Is there anything else? Because I know you have to leave, so that's why I'm kind of ending it. But is there anything else you want to share before we go?
Um, I would say the connections, the people at the end of the day, we can have all of the material things in the world, but the people at the end of the day are the true key to success. So I'm happy that you've been, getting with the milkman and kind of edging in on our group with Chance, because there's a lot of fighters in there that take this seriously, and I'm very happy for you, and I know that it's going to benefit, and it does benefit a lot of people. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. All right. So we will talk again after your fight, which is April 25th.
Yep. Yep.
Awesome. All right, cool. Well, best wishes to you. Enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you for
No
joining
lies.
us.
Thank you, bro. Thank you,
No.
man, so much. God bless you, man.
We came with a plan.
Bye.
Yeah, no guessing, no fear when the cage door slams. Every move mapped out, that's a fight plan. Round by round, we don't wing it, man. Train smart, fight clean, that's a fight plan. Camp clock ticking, sweat on the floor. Data on the tablet, not a prayer anymore. We know where you win, we know where you fall. So we don't chase knockouts, we collect rounds all. Distance control, don't bite on the bait. If he blitzes early, let him gas, let him break. No ego in the pocket, no pride in the fire. We survive, then we rise, then we drown as desire. When the lights get loud and the mind gets tight, this ain't improv, this is chess in a fight. No guessing, no fear when the cage door slams. Every move mapped out, that's a fight plan. Round by round, we don't wing it, man. Train smart, fight clean, that's a fight plan. If this happens, do this. If that fails, reset. Win the round, then the fight. No vibes, no hope, just facts in hands. Pressure with purpose, that's a fight plan. Walk out calm, walk out the man. Smart beats tough, that's a fight plan. Digital corner. Real results. Fight plan. Oh. 5 a.m. glow, city still sleeping. Mind already running, I'm 10 moves deep in. Game plan mapped out, vision HD. No brain fog here, that's not me. Steam rising slow from the cup in my hand. Ideas light up like I drew up the plan. Every rep counts, every thought sharp. Fuel for the grind and the creative spark. This ain't just caffeine in a cup, this that clarity when it's crunch time. What's up? When the pressure hits, I don't panic, I see the whole board clear in front of me. Go, go, go! Coach's cognitive coffee, money roll coffee, that's the key. Stay locked in, stay focused, stay ready, mind steady, vision heavy. Coach's cognitive coffee, money roll coffee, fueling me when the stakes get high and the lights get bright. I'm sharp all day, I'm locked all night. Podcast mic on, headphones tight. Big ideas coming left and right. No hesitation, no delay. Clear decisions every day. From the chessboard moves to the business plays. From the gym floor grind to the long work days. It's mental edge in every sip. Confidence steady, no slip. You can feel a shift when it kicks in clean. Tunnel vision, but the picture's seen. Not hype, just clarity. Built for longevity. Coach's cognitive coffee, money roll coffee, that's the key. Stay locked in, stay focused, stay ready, mind steady, vision heavy.
a coach woke up thinking about a million little things. Like, did I text her back, and what if nobody sang? What if this idea flops, what if this one bangs? What if everybody laughing while I'm chasing my dreams? Then I looked at my coffee, steam dancing in the light, bird chirping outside like they booked a gig tonight. Sun hit the window like a spotlight beam, and it hit me like, yo, you missing the scene. Mind always sprinting like it's late for a train, but the moment right here ain't playing that game. Future ain't real yet, past already gone, so the only place to live is the track we on. I'm living here and now, not tomorrow, not somehow, not the past, not breakdowns. I'm living here and now, yeah, the present's what I found. Life's a gift, unwrap it now. If you stuck up in your head, you'll miss out. I'm living here and now. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, my brain like a group chat that never goes mute. 20 voices yelling, dude, you gotta compute. Did you screw that up? Did you miss that clue? Did she like that text? Did you tie that shoe? But meanwhile, the wind blowing cool through the trees, and the moment like, bro, just breathe with me, please. No rewind button, no fast forward skip, just this little slice of time you currently in. It's funny how the mind wanna live in a draft, while the moment's sitting here like, bro, do the math. Every laugh, every sip, every step that you take, that's the real highlight reel you're supposed to make. I'm living here and now, not tomorrow, not somehow, not the past, not breakdowns. I'm living here and now, yeah, the present's what I found. Life's a gift, unwrap it now. If you stuck up in your head, you'll miss out. I'm living here and now. Hold up, why am I stressing about Tuesday when it's literally Saturday? Like, bro, there's a bird doing Parker on the fence right now, and I'm missing it thinking about taxes? Nah. So I'm feeling the ground when my feet hit the floor, taking one real breath like I never did before. Sun on my skin, little smile on my face, like the universe saying welcome to the place. No pressure to win, every second I'm in, just show up to the moment and your life begin. Cause the magic ain't later and it ain't in the past, it's the moment you finally stop moving so fast. I'm living here and now, not tomorrow, not somehow, not the past, not breakdowns. I'm living here and now, yeah, the present's what I found. Life's a gift, unwrap it now. If you stuck up in your head, you'll miss out. I'm living here and now, yeah, coach in the moment now, breathing, sipping, living, right here, right now, right now, I'm living here and now.
A coma is just a comma in your life. Trust and believe everything will be alright, be alright. You ain't done yet, you just pause mid-fall in your life. Trust and believe everything will be alright, be alright. You ain't done yet, you just pause mid-fall. Trust and believe everything will be alright. You ain't done yet, you just pause mid-fall. I was walking through the jungle with my people by my side. Didn't know that in the moment I'd be fighting for my life. Felt the world start spinning, colors all fade to white. Next thing I knew, I was falling out of sight. Heard voices in the darkness saying, coach, hold tight. But the fear in Queen Jeezy had me wanting to fight. Dreams turn to storms when you can't stand the bright, but every storm breaks when you step into the light. A coma is just a comma in your life. Trust and believe everything will be alright, be alright. You ain't done yet, you just pause mid-fight. Trust and believe everything will be alright. You ain't done yet, you just pause mid-fight. In the hospital bed, trying to piece back time. Maya told me, breathe, one step you'll climb. Truth lying, drop facts while the monitors chime. Said your brain hit a wall, but your hope still shines. Juji made jokes when the nights felt long. Panda read stories, keeping my heart strong. Hilarious hood pulled pranks, but he meant no wrong. And Stamps hustled salts when the pressure felt on. Every dream I battled was a lesson in disguise. Every fall just a setup for a stronger rise. When Queen JC cried, man, it opened my eyes. I ain't quitting on my people, ain't no goodbye. A coma is just a comma in your life. Trust and believe everything will be alright, be alright. You ain't done yet, you just pause mid-fight. Trust and believe everything
he's more than good. He's still winning. A setback ain't a sentence. It's just a pause in the paragraph. I woke up with a vision and a fire in my chest. Every scar I carry is a reason I'm blessed. Life hit hard, but I hit back twice. Yeah, I'm alright.
Thank you to my sponsor, Coma Dreams. A coma is just a comma in your life. Tonight proved that you pause, you breathe, and you finish the sentence. We did that, we finished
You
it.
looked unstoppable out there.
I didn't quit. Coma Dreams prove comebacks are real. Thank you, coach. I told y'all, no matter how deep it gets, wake up and fight.
Coma Dreams stayed with me. It reminded me not to take any day for granted. Just being healthy, training, and showing up is something to be thankful for.
I didn't expect this, but Coma Dreams actually hit me. Watching Coach go through that made me realize how fragile life is and why you don't waste your shot. This isn't a movie, it's life. It is what it is.
You know, I didn't expect to get hit this hard by a film, but Coma Dreams just wrecked me in the best way. The way it showed someone fighting their way back, step by step, it felt honest, like rolling here on the mats.
All right, I watched Coma Dreams, and I'm going to tell you, Coach's recovery, that was truly inspiring. That's a story worth watching.
I've chased titles my whole life. Coma Dreams reminded me the real prize is waking up and getting another chance. I'm grateful. Thank you, Coach.
I've been knocked down more times than I can count. Coma Dreams reminded me, you never quit, you keep standing back up. Shout out to Coma Dreams. A coma is just a comma in your life. We finished the sentence and we finished the fight. Thank you, Coach.
Congratulations on the win. What's the message tonight?
Train by day, Coma Dreams by night, all day.